The young woman was walking down this street, which runs parallel to the 210 freeway, when a man stopped right here. He grabbed her, tried to throw her into his truck, and now they're pulling the truck out, as you can see here. Hey, Joelle, let's walk this way while this dramatic scene is going on. We want to get beyond the chain a little bit in case this chain snaps, because it's just too dangerous. Hey, Joelle, back up a little bit because this chain snapped a little while ago, so we want to be safe. I don't want it to hit your face. The eco-friendly appeal of this electric skateboard actually helped the bill to become law. Right behind me right now, you kind of see the sort of V formation, because while these officers are kind of gearing up to deal with what they have to deal with, they've got officers behind them backing them up to basically watch their backs. The sheriff wants to remind parents to teach their kids the legal jeopardy they can face by simply having nude selfies of a child in your hands. But that's not all. Sending or receiving such pictures or video.
This is flash flooding that occurred in Acton. It caught a lot of people off guard out there. Is that safe to say? And are those river beds just filling up with water?
It certainly did. You know, as we were driving out here, watch out, Joelle. You can see this is the train tracks right here. And you can see how all this water has funneled up. And it's gone right up to the train tracks. Be careful, Joelle, don't go too deep, okay? I'm gonna talk to this young lady. So how long have you been sitting here?
About 20 minutes.
Did this caught you by surprise?
Yes.
What went through your mind when you saw all of this water gushing through? I mean, it's low here, but on the other side, we really don't know how deep it is as those folks kind of take their chances over there.
Oh my gosh, I'm just scared. There's a lot of people that have animals, and I don't know how they're going to get out of their homes.
And organizers say that this year's May Day demonstration will likely be the largest in about 10 years. The first thing we want to do is to tell our viewers that your eyes are not fooling you. You are not seeing some sort of filter on our camera right now. As we come around this corner, you can see this is the base of the tree. It's about 6 feet tall from top to bottom. And you want to get a sense of how heavy this is. Well, when you pop up here, you can see how this concrete pavement got pushed about several feet off the ground. Take a look at some of the rocks that are showing up here. Chances are you can hear some of the water that's rushing right by me. As I walk this way, look at all the mud and the rainwater that's building up right here up against this K-rail. You can see just how deep it is. And Rick, it all went down in this parking lot. The Uber driver says that he had his camera rolling to document the damage done to his car. Well, he ended up getting a lot more.
They need to be restrained. They're going to start hurting people.
The person recording this video is Uber driver Travis Cole, who says he picked up 2 women in Hollywood Saturday night. One of them got sick in the back seat, so he pulled over at this In-N-Out on Sunset Boulevard at Orange. But soon, the women started dropping F and N bombs, and the pictures speak for themselves.
She's right behind him. Oh, she's using her heel.
There was this tussle and a sucker punch. Cars in the parking lot were not safe.
Psychopaths.
Then one of the women decided to pick a fight with this lady. Within seconds, she's on the ground, arms behind her back, and she's not talking so tough anymore.
So get the off me. Nope.
About a minute later, police showed up to arrest this woman, as well as the second who was nearby. They've been identified as 26-year-old Stacy Avila and 32-year-old Larissa Avila. Both posted $20,000 bail on a felony charge. And Travis Cole says that the women smashed his side window, broke a door handle, and left the inside of the car even worse off than that. Both are expected in court next month. The young woman was walking down this street, which runs parallel to the 210 freeway, when a man stopped right here. He grabbed her, tried to throw her into his truck, and as you can see from the sign right here, this is a no stopping zone.
Kind of like startled me when I was sitting right here. She came running through here screaming.
Security guard Richard Garcia says a young woman ran to him for help after she was assaulted and nearly abducted outside the Smart & Final store at the corner of North Fair Oaks Avenue and Maple Street.
I just came out to take a break right there in a little milk crate.
Pasadena police say the 19-year-old woman was walking here just before 8 Saturday evening when a man in a truck pulled up beside her. He jumped out and snuck up from behind.
Grabbed her by the hair and knocked her down. Drug her, tried to put her in the truck. The girl put up a fight, and she said that he pulled her hair, he hit her a couple of times.
Garcia says the victim screamed, and that's when another car drove by, which scared off the attacker.
She was all cut up and everything.
Police say the victim suffered cuts to her elbows and knees because she had been dragged by her hair along the pavement.
When I came down right here, he was already going on the freeway.
The attacker's pickup truck is described as a Dodge Ram that's white, perhaps from the late 2000s. Police believe he drove west on Maple before hopping on the 210 freeway.
Angry because, you know what, you have a daughter.
Richard Garcia is the father of 5 children. 3 of them are girls. He has this message for the predator.
I would just tell him, you know what, you can't be doing what you're doing, you know what I mean? And it's not right.
Garcia took the young woman into the store where he called police. They tell us that she was wearing headphones when she was attacked. So this was a good reminder that you don't want to be distracted when you're out and about with music or electronic devices. That way you can be more aware of what's around you. You might call this a cover-up of some of the names that were missing during the Vietnam War. That's because this memorial is now covered with graffiti, and as we pan our camera down this way, you can see that the vandalism stretches for about 100 feet.
Oh, just sadness. Think of all these people. They're gone.
Stuart Oscars welled up as he looked at what some people in Venice consider an insult against veterans on Memorial Day weekend.
Just knocked me out. So sickening.
Sickening because this mural on Pacific Avenue near Sunset Court was recently vandalized from end to end. This isn't just any piece of art, it's a memorial dedicated to service members who were listed as missing in action during the Vietnam War.
I can remember the Vietnam War and how friends went to the war and bodies came back.
George Francisco is the vice president of the Venice Chamber of Commerce. He also runs a nonprofit called Veterans Foundation Incorporated.
It's a desecration. I mean, it's very simple. There's no sort of other way around it. It isn't graffiti.
In March, Francisco helped to bring a replica of the Vietnam Veterans Memorial to Venice Beach. You see, his father was a combat veteran of that war who also helped to organize the effort to put up the memorial in the late 80s.
And I've known the sacrifice these people made in an incredibly unpopular war. So to continue the mistreatment of Vietnam veterans is somewhat shocking and quite sad.
People on the streets say the memorial was tagged a few days ago. They say the graffiti matches some of the other ones in the neighborhood. Only this time, things went too far.
Somehow it has to be taught that this is not a good idea to do. This is actually stupid.
And so far, the LAPD tells us that it is not actively investigating this case. We also reached out to LA Councilman Mike Bonin, who's in charge of this district, to see if anything could be done about this, but we haven't been able to get a hold of him.